Sister, tell me why you're settling. Like, tell me why. You shouldn't, okay? You deserve everything you've ever asked for, and I'm here to tell you that you're going to find it.
One of the hardest things that I've ever experienced in the dating scene is dating as an influencer. And more specifically, an influencer who does OF. You know why? Because every guy that comes into my life that knows what I do either wants to sleep on the first date because they think, oh, I'm an OF girl, so it's easy. 2, wants to use me and my clout, because yes, I have followers. Or 3, expect me to quit my job so I don't have to do that kind of work anymore. Like, are there any guys out there that actually respect influencers, workers, whatever? Like, please, if you're one of them,
I really
let me know.
like to push the buttons and see, like, what does that mean? Like, what exactly can I do and how far can I go and you'll still love me? And then I take it too far and I'm alone and I'm crying and I'm like, but he said he'd love me no matter what.
You know, guys, it is super funny when these girls are out here asking questions like, why won't a guy take me seriously when the girl in question literally has an OF account? Okay, why won't guys just be supportive of the fact that I show myself to other men online? Why can't I just find a boyfriend who's going to respect me? Yeah, see, the thing is, any guy who respects himself does not want to deal with you. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be going through some of these TikToks that are just outright ridiculous, guys. So as we go through, make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments as we continue on.
Sister, tell me why you're settling. Like, tell me why. You shouldn't, okay? You deserve everything you've ever asked for, and I'm here to tell you that you're going to find it.
Yeah, why don't we just continue to lie to people? Isn't that a fantastic idea? Right? The beautiful thing about these TikToks, guys, is like they're all just complete lies, you know? It's like, oh, you deserve everything. You're going to get everything. And then the girl's like bawling her eyes out when she's 40. She's got no boyfriend. She's broke because she worked at Starbucks and she has like $200,000 in student loan debt. Right? Yeah, let's just continue lying to everyone. But hey, as long as it feels good, right?
One of the hardest things that I've ever experienced in the dating scene is dating as an influencer.
Whenever a girl says that dating is hard in any capacity, like, it's all their fault. Guys, like, I'm going to say it 100%. If a girl has difficulty in dating, that is entirely self-inflicted, right? What do these girls do while they're dating, guys? The women are the selectors of this species, okay? If you're a girl and you're even moderately attractive, hell, you don't even need to be attractive. You can go out there and have a big choice in men. So if you're having difficulty in dating, it's literally entirely you, okay? Much less if you have an OF account and you expect guys to take you seriously after that.
And more specifically, an influencer who does OF. You know why? Because every guy that comes into my life that knows what I do either wants to sleep on the first date because they think, oh, I'm an OF girl, so it's easy.
No, see, that's not even, she hasn't even got this right. She's kind of got it half right. A lot of guys will just want to have bedroom fun with you on the first date because that's what you've advertised yourself as, right? You're not an influencer. It's super weird to me, right? How girls will get online and they'll be like, oh, I'm an influencer. You're not you don't influence anything. You influence dudes who are, you know, who are just want to get online and look at some pictures. You don't influence anything of value, right? And these girls will be the same girls that get mad. They'll be like, oh, how come a guy won't value me for my intelligence? Like, I bring other things to the table. It's like, really, because all you market yourself as is someone who's there for bedroom fun. And one more point I want to make on this as well is a lot of girls will get really mad and frustrated, right? And they'll be like, you know, why don't guys take me? Why do guys just want to have fun with me on the first date and that's it? Here's the thing. If a guy sees that you have an OF account, why would he try for anything else? You know, like, is he supposed to shoot for a relationship with you? Bro, like, there's probably like 100+ people who have seen you, you know, completely unclothed on the internet. So why would that guy even want to shoot for a relationship with you anyway? People are probably, you know, a lot of dudes will probably see you and they'll just kind of shoot their shot just for the bedroom fun and be like, oh, okay, well, I missed, I'm out of here. And you can't really blame them because you're not relationship material by default.
2 wants to use me and my clout, because yes, I have followers. Or 3 expects me to quit my job so I don't have to do that kind of work anymore.
And hey, if you want to continue going out there and making your money like that, that's totally fine. Right, guys, like, I don't have issues with these clowns that go out here and do this. Like, I've got no problems, guys. You know, there are absolutely no problems, but the problems come up when you start to demand a man, because then you actually have to try and consider what men won't. But the thing is, they won't, guys. They'll never consider what men want in return. And that's the thing that screws them up. It's like, yeah, you can go out here, you can do X, Y, Z, and hey, good for you, enjoy yourself. But there are consequences to those things. One of the consequences is that men will walk away from you because you're not worth a relationship. It's really simple. It's super simple. And what do? Rather than accept that, hey, maybe men don't want to deal with me because of XYZ reason, they turn it around and they blame it on the men. Like, watch how she blames this on dudes. It's crazy.
Like, are there any guys out there that actually respect influencers, workers, whatever? Like,
yeah, you see, and she turns it around into, why don't guys respect bedroom fun workers? That's what she turns it into. Rather than being like, oh, you know, maybe just men aren't interested in this. It's like, why? You know what? Just be a real man. You know what I mean? Just be a real man. Take me seriously. I just want a guy who respects us. It's like, that's not how respect works. I have to outline this so often, guys, but people just, like, the new generation especially just has this idea that, like, respect is just something that's supposed to be given no matter what, and you're deserving of everything. Absolutely wild.
Please, if you're one of them,
I really
let me know.
like to push the buttons and see, like, what does that mean? Like, what exactly can I do and how far can I go and you'll still love me? And then I take it too far and I'm alone and I'm crying and I'm like, but he said he'd love me no matter what.
And you only have yourself to blame when you do that. I think a lot of dudes kind of, they get confused when girls pull this crap. Like, because girls will play games all the time, man. All the time. Right? Dudes will say, like, yeah, it goes down if she views you as her best option and all that kind of stuff because she doesn't want to pull any crap. And, you know, and there's a lot of truth to that. But a lot of girls will just be stupid just to be, you know, just to see if they can get under your skin. And, like, if they do and you kick them out, they're like, oh, wait a minute. A guy actually won't put up with my games. Right? A guy actually won't put up with my terrible behavior. What is this? Because they're used to being told yes from everybody. Like, yes, yes, yes. And then it's like a kid, man. And then as soon as the kid gets told off, they're like, what? And then they go cry and then they, like, throw a tantrum over it. And it's like, why don't they like me? How come they're treating me like this? It's like you forced the reaction to happen. To be honest, more men should treat you that way by default. But hey, here we are in 2022 where we're supposed to be tolerant of everybody's bullcrap for some reason. But guys, this is a perfect segue into today's Patreon question. So I'm going to bring that up momentarily. And an individual named TR asked this one, okay? So this individual asked, my girlfriends, and I'm assuming when he said girlfriends, he meant previous girlfriends as well. Like, I don't think this is a typo. I think he's referring to his relationships in general. My relationships keep disrespecting me in front of my family and friends. What should I do? And this was again sent in by an individual named TR. I'm not going to be naming these people, guys, as we go through, just for privacy reasons, obviously. But guys, don't put up with disrespect. Right? Please do not do that. The only time that you should even consider putting up with disrespect is if, like, you're trying to hold together, like, you got married, which is a stupid decision, and you're trying to hold together, you know, your marriage for the kids or something like that. But guys, if an individual like these girls are out here disrespecting you, please do not think that you have to sit there and take that. Right? Just stop talking to them, man. Just stop talking to them. Blame it on something. If you're worried about the girl, like, coming and keying your car and stuff like that. And yes, that is a lot of dudes think I'm joking when I say crap like that. No, like, it legitimately, if you tell girls like this no sometimes, guys, like, oh, they'll key your car, right? They'll try and turn all your friends against you. They'll do X, Y, Z. So just, like, slowly back off and blame it on something else. That's my advice if you want to safely exit the situation. But please understand, that you don't owe these girls anything, guys. Like, I'm going to pull this up one more time. Guys, make sure you leave your thoughts and your comments as well to this man's question as well. Like, if you guys have any perspective on this, what should you do when somebody is disrespecting you? Guys, my advice, leave the situation. Don't get mad. Don't yell at them. Don't have these big arguments or anything like that, because usually you're only feeding them. Just leave the situation and you'll be a lot better off for it. But guys, let's continue with the video.
I don't know.
If you ask your girl or a girl you're entertaining, oh, what'd you do last night? And she's all, I went out with my friends. Yeah, my friends. And she doesn't specify what these friends' names are. Yeah, she was with a man.
As you know,
Yeah, and a lot of girls will, that's true right there, right? And a lot of girls will deliberately not specify the gender of the people that they're hanging out with just to try and make you jealous. And those are the games that I'm talking about, right, guys? It's like girls will play all these games, they'll be annoying, they'll try and make you jealous and all this kind of crap. And a lot of them are really surprised when you throw them out to the curb.
I am publicizing my breakup because what a better excuse for clout. Might as well get something out of this, but what a funny idea, because everyone's like, do you even feel anything? Like, are you even upset? No, I'm a Pisces. I'm exploiting the fuck out of my victim complex and other people. I thought I'd just share my breakup ritual. Literally 1 to 3 days max to be sad. If it was a long breakup, fine. But honestly, I still don't think any man is worth more than, like, what, 48 hours? Self-care is.
Do you guys ever, like, this just popped into my head right here. Do you guys ever think that these girls who talk about, like, oh, I'm this star sign or I'm that star sign, what they really mean is, like, they're a sociopath? Like, I feel like they could have just said that word instead, right? Rather than her getting on here and saying, like, oh, I'm a Pisces and I don't feel anything. Like, we could have just said the word that everyone's familiar with, or most people are familiar with, and we could just say that you're a sociopath, you know? Like, why do we have to go through this middleman of talking in star sign language bullcrap when we could just say, like, you don't feel anything because it's an abnormality known as sociopathy, okay? Which, by the way, sociopathy is a lot more common than people think. But, you know, a lot of guys will be like, I'll blame their crappy personality on their star sign, right? It's like, no, we actually have some medical definitions for some of this stuff. But anyway.
It's really important during this period. Like, you need to look really hot. You need to be going out. You need to be getting a little bit hammered. Everything that you need to be. I've been personally getting very crossed. I've drank like of Pink Whitney in the past couple days. Another ritual that I believe in is posting religiously on Instagram, because even though people like who already know within the close circle that you're broken up, this signifies to everyone else that you are single, you are on the market, you're back in the streets, and you're ready to play. But the only way to get over someone is to get under another. I don't believe any other ritual, meditation, anything works. So don't waste time hooking up with anyone else, especially if you know people are waiting for you already. Do it. Do it.
Wow. You know what? That TikTok actually was genuinely so insane. I might use that on another video and ask my editor to put it at the beginning of another one. I think that warrants like just coming first in a video. I didn't even realize that was in there, man. That's some crazy advice. So her advice is basically go out here and deal with a breakup in literally the worst way possible. Go find another dude, go do things that are bad for your health, and try to get over the relationship as quickly as possible. And these are the same girls, man. I'm telling you, these astrology women, these are the same ones that'll talk all about like healing and like self-love and self-care and doing all these things for yourself, which like on the outset, gentlemen, like I don't have anything against people trying to, you know, have a better self-esteem or care for themselves or anything like that. I think self-care is good, but these girls have twisted it in such a way that it's like you don't even mean self-care anymore when you say self-care. You just mean manipulating other people. You know, it's not about loving yourself or doing the things that you care about or your hobbies or anything like that, man. It's about like, how do you manipulate other people to have a perception of you? And I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that that's really conducive to having a good psychological state, right?
I may not be looking for a relationship, but even if we're just hooking up, I do expect you to respect me and my time because it is very valuable to me and I don't give it to everyone.
Guys,
that's a lie. That's 100% a lie. Before we even continue, I just want to show you as well. I'm just going to move this up. Oh, you guys can kind of see him, but obviously we got the you know, we got the tattoos going on here, the forearm tattoos. And this one hasn't got much of a forearm tattoo, but tattoos coming in. My guess would be potential single mother right there, guys, because that's the time. Single mother or just like going into early 30s, that's when these girls start to have a real issue and they start to go like, don't waste my time, I'm looking for a real man, you know, I need a guy who's always going to be there for me, crap like that.
Don't give it to everyone.
Guys want a girl who's all put together, right? Done up. But then they get this girl and they're like, you're so high maintenance. Okay, you know what, honey? I'm the one maintaining it, so why are you mad?
Whatever.
Gotta put me first. I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first, Lucius.
And I promise you.
Okay, so I'm confused. You guys that are out here talking about you can't find a good woman and you're putting yourself all over TikTok and then you don't respond to inquiries. How are you going to ever know? And why are you putting yourself out there then? Isn't the point to try to meet people? Or is it just to get attention, but you have no intention of actually following through?
Don't be fooled, guys. When she's saying this, see, she's saying this because she's still pretty attracted to the dudes. Like, she could still get a man who's going to commit to her, right? That's the funny thing about these girls who will get on here and say crap like this, is like, you're only mad because you can't get the commitment from the dudes that you want. You can get commitment from other men. You can have relationships with other men. Like this woman, even if she's like a single mother to 2 children from 2 separate baby fathers, okay? She could still go out there and find a relationship. She just gets on here and she has an issue with it because she can't lock down the dudes who she's actually attracted to, right? Because there are plenty of dudes who would be happy to have a relationship with this woman. Like, you know, she's not terrible looking, okay? She seems a bit older. I'm terrible at guessing people's ages, man. But, you know, there would be dudes out there willing to have a relationship with her, but she's mad because it's the dudes that she wants don't want to commit to her. And that's always the way it goes.
How are you supposed to go on dates with people when you can't stop thinking about this one person? And it's like your rational brain knows that they're not right for you and that this person doesn't even like you back. But you keep comparing everyone to them anyway, and it's not fair to them, and it's most certainly not fair to yourself either. But you can't just like turn it off, and it like makes dating not fun. Like I am not having a good time.
And yet you're still out there. We have a term for that, by the way, guys. It's if you're perhaps new to this side of the internet, it's called being an alpha widow. Okay, a lot of these girls, what happens is they go out with Chad. They get a taste of Chad, whether that be, you know, a situationship, or maybe they actually get a relationship out of him for 2 minutes. Okay, or maybe they just have some bedroom fun, or they get taken. Whatever the case may be, she has an experience with a dude who she's really attracted to, but the guy's not interested in her. So what she does is she sets her bar at that man. And she refuses to date a man or take seriously a guy who is below that standard, right? And oftentimes this is like one specific guy that they have in mind, where a lot of girls will get into relationships and that guy will just call around and be able to call her back in 2 seconds because she's already set her eyes on him. I don't think a lot of dudes seem to realize that women who are in relationships, they're kind of just like temporarily there. You know, like they're kind of just there hoping that the guy in her past will hit her back up or coming across a better option in the future. I think a lot of people's relationships are a lot more flimsy than they would like them to be.
This man just asked me, what are you doing? Did you eat dinner? I said, I'm at work, and no, I didn't. I should have ate before I came here. I'm starving. He said, oh, that's not good. You need to make sure you eat before you go to work. Bitch, if you don't DoorDash me something right now, what the why would you even ask me that? Why'd you even, that's all you wanted to say?
Hello. It's Tuesday. My room is a disaster. I am 3 hours behind of everything I'm supposed to be doing today. But you know what? I needed to pop on here and let you know that even if you're running behind, even if you didn't get everything done that you need to get done today, even if there's something in you saying you didn't do enough, you aren't enough, and you're whatever negativities in your head, I think that you're great. I think that you're beautiful. I think that even of all the mistakes that you've made in your life, you are still moving forward in the right direction. And I'm here for you. Absolutely love you. Will never, ever, 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 ever let myself get back to a low point where I'm putting people down ever again. And if that means that I have to get on here and encourage people that I don't know, then so be it. Because you're great. I'm great. We're all whole. We're all enough. Let's run this Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Yeah, guys, I have no idea what the hell happened in that last clip. But before we continue on, just notice, right, how a common theme across all of these videos, right, that girls always seem to have these forearm tattoos. Right, that seems to be the one thing that all of these girls share together who have these stupid opinions, and they're like, why don't men take me seriously and all that. It's the forearm tattoos seem to be a very common denominator between these women. But just to address specifically the woman at the beginning of the video talking about her OF account, guys, disgusting. Any dude who respects himself does not want to put up with a girl's behavior like that. Right, you can have a relationship by all means, you can find a boyfriend and stuff like that, but a lot of these girls, they get really frustrated and angry because they can't find a dude who respects themselves. You know what I mean? Like, because she knows fundamentally that if a dude ends up with her, he doesn't respect himself in the process of doing that, because any guy who has better options or who has a sense of self-worth doesn't want his girlfriend, his wife, his partner, whatever you want to call it, to have her bits out all over the internet for other guys to see for $4.99 a month. Right, and it does. Some girls seem to think that it matters. Like, oh, it's just my job, right? Why can't you just respect me? Everybody's got to work a job. It's like, yeah, okay, go out, do that, but no boyfriend privileges for you. That's not how it works, okay? But a lot of girls, they really don't want to hear that. So guys, I'm going to pull up today's Patreon question one more time before we jump into today's Reddit stories, just to provide a little bit of context. So once again, today's Patreon question comes in from TR and says, my girlfriends keep disrespecting me in front of my family and friends. What should I do? So guys, make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments. And with that being said, let's jump into today's, actually, this is going to be a dating profile we're going to jump into first. So right here, we have a Bumble profile from a woman who is 32 years of age, and its about section says, I have twin 18-month-year-olds. I would love to have more. I'm currently married. Yes, I know. My husband has stage 4 C word, was just given 3 to 6 months. I am his caregiver, nurse, not so much wife. Our situation, which she spelled wrong, is very unique. Please ask, don't assume. Things are not always what they seem. She is 5'7". She is almost never physically active. She drinks socially. She doesn't have cigarettes. She's looking for something that she doesn't know. Look at this. She doesn't know. Let me see if I can pull this up, right? She doesn't know what she's looking for in terms of a relationship, but she has kids and she wants more, and she's a Christian. It's like, pick a lane, bro. Pick a lane. What even is this? You don't even know whether or not you're looking for a relationship, which, by the way, guys, let's just make this clear. A lot of girls use these apps for hookups as well. They'll use them mostly for attention, but they also do use them for hookups, okay? But to then go on and say, you don't know what you're looking for, but you have kids and you want more and you're Christian, some of these things seem mutually exclusive to me, but hey, what the hell do I know, right, guys? Like, I'm just a vampire animated dude on the internet. But guys, let's jump into today's first Reddit story, if the damn thing will load. So right here, we have one titled, my girlfriend's secret TikTok. A bit of context here. Me, a 23-year-old male, and my girlfriend, who is 22 years of age, have been together for just over a year. She's very anxious because her ex-boyfriend A-worded her, and I've always been incredibly supportive. If she's not comfortable with me speaking to someone as a friend, I won't. She wanted to be able to check my phone and messages whenever she liked, and I let her because I have nothing to hide. I'm genuinely just a casual guy and we have a great relationship. She gets very frustrated if there's something in my life that I haven't told her, even if it's small. I want to know, I went to the gym while she was at work, and later that night I told her, and that she got angry that I didn't let her know, and that we should be completely open with each other. I was like, sorry, I will next time. Don't apologize. She also got mad when I told her I used to have a YouTube account where I posted videos when I was like 14 because it took me 1 year of our relationship to remember it. But the point is, she thinks there should be no secrets, and that's important to this. Guys, right off the bat, whenever you're dealing with an individual like this, please understand that whenever somebody is accusing you of something, right, and you know that you haven't done it, what you'll come to find out is a lot of the people who are doing the accusing, I don't care if it's a guy, I don't care if it's a girl, just in general, the person doing most of the accusing is typically guilty of what they're accusing you of. right? And this blindsides a lot of people when they're in relationships and stuff like that, and their partner will be so adamant, right, about how terrible cheating is, and cheating is awful, cheating is this, cheating is that. And then those exact same people who will be crying about whatever it happens to be, usually it's cheating, right? Or like some form of infidelity. Those are the people who are out there doing the exact same thing. There's a saying, I don't really remember what it is, but like when you're pointing at someone, you have multiple fingers pointing back at you. I don't know what the saying is for the damn thing, all right? But that's very true. That is incredibly true. Like, there'll be dudes watching this video right now who have been cheated on in their life, right? And they'll be able to tell you, like, yeah, it took me completely by surprise, because the entire time she told me that she was so against cheating, and yet she was the one who was cheating all along. Right? She was the one who wanted us to be open and to have all these, be open and communicating. But turns out she was the one who did all these things wrong. And you're going to see that as we continue with this story. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. She also does not like girls liking my Instagram posts or looking at me or whatever, because she gets easily jealous. And I get that so I'm open to her if anyone ever messages me. For the record, I'm chill. I don't care who likes her stuff or who she speaks to, because I trust her. I just wanted to explain some instances which will be important for context. Our relationship is great and we love each other. I know she's just anxious, and I always support that. Right, okay. Anyway, now the background is out of the way. I saw her phone buzz and saw a notification saying someone liked her TikTok video. I mentioned it later, saying, I didn't know that you did TikTok videos. How come you didn't say anything? She got defensive and said, oh, only like 1 or 2 videos of my dog. I would have told you eventually. If she had just said, yeah, I do, sorry, I never got around to telling you, I would have just dropped it and moved on. But considering how much she always pushes on us being completely open and how defensive she got, I was a little taken by surprise. I just asked, oh, can you show me? And she said no, that she didn't feel comfortable showing me. After a bit of a conversation and me saying she expects me to be open with her, so I'd appreciate the same in return. I'm not asking anything major, just interested. She admitted to having done it for a while, and they're mostly videos of her. There are lots of these videos. I found it a little strange that she's done this without being open with me. Normally I wouldn't care, but as I said, if she expects me to be 100% open, then why isn't she? Not to mention she hates girls looking at me or liking her posts, yet she's happy to upload cute TikToks and have guys like them. Also, how come she won't let me see them, but is happy for other guys too? Again, I really wouldn't care, but normally I just think it's super hypocritical. Like, I feel slightly pissed off that she lied about it and is being a hypocrite. Guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm not a fantastic storyteller, right? You may have noticed as I do these episodes, but I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story here, okay? So I spoke to a man on Patreon the other day, and I'm not going to name any names, but he had just gotten out of a very long-term relationship. They weren't married, but it was, man, what is this guy doing playing this game, by the way? This is my friend who sends in these gameplay recordings because he wants to help out with the channel. Shout out to him. But man, what on earth is he doing, right? Anyway, so this guy talked to me over on Patreon, right? And he was explaining his situation, how he just got out of a long-term relationship. They weren't married, but the relationship had been going on for a very long period of time. And what he came to realize at the end was he literally could not tell when the girl was lying at all. Like, he could not tell, because what she had done is she'd mixed in the truth with lies so many times that he couldn't tell what events were real and what events were not. To the point where I was like, look, man, like, first of all, you've got to leave the situation, okay? And depending on which state you live in and stuff like that, you can still be up for common law marriage and the girl can take half your crap, guys, but you've got to get out of situations like this. But the thing that really struck me, guys, was just the fact that he couldn't tell any truths from any lies, right? Because the truth had been distorted that damn much. And this is what happens in relationships, particularly with people who are so aggressive about particular things, right? If a girl's like, oh, I don't like cheaters, I really hate cheaters, I want to see your phone all the time. That girl in that particular Reddit story that we just read, guys, I would not be surprised at all if she was cheating for the entire duration of the relationship. It would not surprise me even in the absolute slightest, okay? But a lot of guys will get themselves into this situation. The relationship will go on for 7-8 years, and you know, he just won't have any clue about this sort of stuff because he just assumes like it's normal, or she just needs that extra support, right? During that Reddit story, I want to pull that up one more time, okay, to really kind of highlight something that's a little bit concerning in here, is the fact that he says he's supportive of her anxiety, right? Look at this right here. I know she's just anxious, and I always support that. Right, I want you guys to understand something, that people who paint themselves as a victim, like, oh, why are you doing this to me? Or why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I just want you to be open. There's always going to have to be someone in their life in order to make them a victim. And guess what, guys? That's going to be you the next time, right? If you get into a relationship with a girl or a guy, and they're talking about like how awful their ex is and this and that and this and that, chances are you're going to be the next awful ex, whether or not you're actually an awful person or not. Like it genuinely just doesn't seem to matter, right? Because these people need to have a victim in their lives so that they can't look at themselves and go, oh crap, maybe I did this wrong, right? Maybe I did that wrong. But guys, we're going to be jumping over to one of our favorite subreddits momentarily here, and we'll save that story, but we've got one here on dating over 30. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with this subreddit is obviously just people who are dating over 30, but you get a lot of girls asking stupid questions because, guys, let's just be honest with ourselves here. If a girl is looking for a long-term relationship and she hasn't found something by the time she's 30, she's doing stuff wrong, okay? This Reddit story is titled, "Did you decide dating apps aren't for you and then meet your partner in the wild? I want to hear your story. I'm going through a reckoning with dating apps after being on them for probably close to 10 years. I've realized that though I've grown a lot through them and feel way more neutral about them than I used to, they ultimately just don't feel like it's the way that I'll meet my partner." It's kind of like the definition of insanity thing. It's if after a lot of inner work, 100+ dates in the last few years, many short-term relationships, I've never even had one long-term relationship result from the app, maybe it's time to just throw in the towel and accept that I'm part of the pie chart that's meant to meet off app. No. You're not meant to meet at all, right? You have no ability to meet a partner and be content with them, right? And because what she's doing, guys, is she's going out here, she's having many flings with Chad, and then she's turning around like, oh, you know, why can't I find a long-term relationship? Guys, look at this, right? I didn't even have to say anything. Okay, a lot of people will be like, oh, Taylor, right? Surely girls don't have triple-digit body counts. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Look at this statistic right here. I've been on 100+ dates in the last few years. Many short-term relationships. I'm telling you guys, this triple-digit body count stuff, very achievable for some of these girls. Very, very achievable. But anyway, which feels scary, like a surrendering of control. I was definitely using apps as a way to mitigate my fear of ending up alone, because taking some action, action, that's the word you want to use, yep, felt better than just surrendering to the fact that so much of love is just timing and circumstance. So I've decided to try something new and scary, which is deleting my apps and trusting that putting myself out there in the world will eventually lead me to what I'm looking for. This is in no way giving up, but more of an act of surrender. Can anyone relate? Too long didn't read. I'd love to hear your stories of deciding the dating apps aren't your thing and then going on to meet your person outside of apps. Now, guys, I want to draw your attention to the fact that this has 395 upvotes on it. Like, people are supportive of this stuff. Like, oh yeah, maybe you'll go out there and you'll find your Prince Charming. Nobody wants to tell girls, like, you're dating incorrectly. Right? You are literally your own worst enemy in trying to secure a guy who's going to have a long-term relationship with you. It's 100% your fault. Girls will get on here, man. They'll be talking about like, oh, so what? I've got an OF account. Why can't I find a long-term relationship? And then they'll be shocked and upset when dudes explain it to them and be like, yeah, look, I don't really want to take a girl seriously who has an OF account. I don't want to take a girl seriously who's been on hundreds of dates, hasn't found a man, has been in many short-term relationships. It's like, I'm sorry, you're just unsuccessful. You are your own worst enemy in dating, and that's going to continue to happen. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments on some of the things that we covered on today's show, guys, on your way out. It's always interesting to see what you gentlemen have to say. If you have any response or thoughts to share in regards to today's Patreon question as well, guys, feel free to do that. Very good question today. We've got a whole mixed bag of those coming up. I thought I would do some more of them on the show. But as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you boys in the next episode. Peace. Yo, what is going on, guys? Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's video. With that being said, make sure you go and show some love to the editor of today's video, guys. You can find free Apple Watch wallpapers over on his website, www.applewatchfaces.io. Make sure you head over there, guys, and bookmark the tab to show some support for your boy. He's gone through the blood, sweat, and tears of putting together today's video, guys, so make sure to go and show him some support for what he has endured today. Take it easy, guys, and peace for real this time.